Good afternoon, Pastor Marty from the Afternoon Drive. So, the Senate makes it official with a handful of Republicans that decided to be the backstabbing traitors that they are, putting a knife into the back of their president, Donald J. Trump. The Senate has now voted to not allow the president to declare this national emergency to divert money for the border wall. Setting up a showdown, setting up a Trump veto. Let me just say a couple of words here. Oh, and by the way, now all of a sudden, Paul Ryan's on board. He tweeted out today that the Republicans should really rethink this because, after all, Republicans who side with Donald Trump, they win elections. Republicans who don't, lose. Well, geez, Shazam, Batman. Thanks a lot, Ryan. You were no help whatsoever when you were actually leading the House of Representatives. You did nothing to help this president get the border wall done. Mitch McConnell did nothing to get this border wall done because the dirty little secret is Republicans don't want the wall any more than the Democrats do. I've told you before, Republicans and Democrats are simply different sides of the exact same coin. They are the ruling elite, they are the oligarch, they are the swamp, they are the deep state, whatever you want to call them, that's what they are. These guys can go on CNN and Fox News, one Democrat, one Republican. They can seemingly have this debate and this back and forth, and as soon as the cameras are off, they go to the same cocktail parties in Washington, D.C. They take money from the same lobbyists. Trump told us about this when he was running, when he was in his first primary debates. He says, I was one of those people that passed out money to Republicans, passed out money to Democrats, and I did that because I needed to do business in New York and I needed to get things done. And I can tell you, when that kind of money gets given out, it doesn't just get given out with the, wow, I really support this candidate and his ideals and what he's standing for. No, that money is given out because at some point, if that person gets elected, the persons or persons that gave him that kind of money will be calling, and you will do what you've been asked to do because there's a whole lot of money at play here. And Trump talked about that openly. Who's funding these Republicans? And Rand Paul. I wanted to like Rand Paul. Well, we have to do this for the Constitution. Ah, shut up. Where were these guys when Barack Obama turned the Constitution into toilet paper? And I'm serious about that. Where were they? You want to know something that is not constitutional that we've been stuck with by an American president? DACA. DACA. President Obama, or as I like to refer to him, Barackmas Obadamus, POTUS 44. He fashioned himself on a sheet of paper and by executive order, thwarting all of our existing immigration laws, DACA, and then punted the ball for the next president to have to deal with. Where were these Republican supporters of the Constitution then? And the Republicans had the majority. That's why Barack did the executive order, because he didn't want to have to try to work with a Republican Congress. But they proved to be completely and totally inept anyway and would have just rolled over and played dead for him. He could have probably just taken it through to them and they would have done it for him. Because the only thing that the Republicans seemed to know how to do when Barack Obama was president was drop their pants, bend over and say, thank you, sir, may I have another? But Donald Trump comes along. Republican. Governing like no conservative president has ever governed. Wins on the Supreme Court, wins on the economy, wins on foreign policy. He is trying to do his sworn duty as the commander-in-chief to protect the citizens of the United States, and he wants to do so on that southern border. And the Republicans say he doesn't have the constitutional authority to redirect money. Yes, he does. In a time of a national emergency, The president has the authority given to him by Congress, so he's not thwarting the Constitution. Congress gave the presidents this authority. This is the same authority that Jimmy Carter, the Bushes, Clinton, Obama himself have used to fight little proxy wars and divert money to this country and divert money to that cause and divert money here, there, and everywhere. I forget how many national emergencies from other presidents we're still maintaining and funding. But now we have a president who actually, surrounded by a team of constitutional lawyers, think about what he's tried to do. He tried to get it through a Republican Congress. Couldn't do it. Went through a government shutdown. Reopened the government to negotiate. They won't negotiate. They won't secure that border. And it's about time that Bipolar Ann Coulter, Ann Inheat, and the Tramp Coulter shut her mouth. She's not a conservative, not on any level. I don't understand why any conservative media outlet still gives her a voice. She is what she is, a trollop and a tramp who likes to talk conservative politics and throw out her insults and her lambasts, but at the end of the day, she's a Romneyite. She's a faux Republican at best. And this is her gig to make money. She's about as reputable as a televangelist is to Christianity. She knows the right talking points. She knows, as we would say in the ministry, she knows the amen lines. But her own personal life and who she actually associates with, she knows how to speak conservative speak and write the books and do the things that make her a paycheck. Because she says she's for the wall and border security. Yet in all the years of running her mouth, think of all the other candidates that she has supported. The Bushes, Romney. None of them were ever going to secure the border. Never, ever, never. Then she's blasting the president, even though she helped to try to get him elected. Then she turned on him and said the only national emergency in this country is the fact we have an idiot for a president. Yet, she herself, blasting him day in and day out for not getting the wall done, and she knows the Republicans under Paul Ryan were not going to give him that wall. Ever. Because rich Republicans that are lobbyists and have business interests on the border like the cheap Mexican labor. There, I said it. And the Democrats, who are actually losing support with minority communities in this country, losing support with the legal Mexicans and Latinos who are here, and even now losing support with Black America. It is now estimated that Trump's approval among Black America is at 35%. That is mind-blowing. Minority communities have never done better economically under any president than this one. So you've got the Democrats, they want a free new voting bloc in here. Illegals. And rich Republicans want cheap labor. Illegals. And who loses? We do. The American people. Chuck Schumer, under Obama, was willing to fund a whole lot of money for a big border wall, all the while knowing they weren't actually going to build it. But we got him all over YouTube talking about it. We got Hillary Rodham Clinton. The videos are out there. She wanted a wall. They really didn't, but it was the thing to say at the time. Here's what they really don't like about Trump. See, the dirty little secret is all these politicians, they go out there, especially the ones on the Christian right, they go out there and they talk about anti-abortion, they talk about repeal and replace Obamacare, they talk about immigration, and then when they get elected, they do what everybody else does. Monkey see, monkey do. Just figure out how long I can stay here and how much money I can make while I'm here. But I know the right patriotic things to say. I know the right Christian right buzzwords to say during a campaign. And I don't deliver. Blast Donald Trump over everything. Vilify him on made-up collusion or, you know, women from 20 years ago saying he touched them somewhere. But yet, he's the president who's actually delivered on the things so many on the Christian right have campaigned on. He's delivered. Wants to secure the border. He has the constitutional authority given to him by Congress. 74, 75. Under an emergency declaration, he can divert money. He is the executive branch, or the embodiment, I should say, of the executive branch. And even in a corporate world, a legislative body like Congress, okay, they may lay out the board, the money that's going to be spent and what it's going to be spent on, but the CEO, the chief executive officer, he can say, we're not spending money there. We can't. To protect our budget, to protect our business, we're losing money on this venture. He can stop it. That is executive discernment right there. The Constitution enables this president in a time of emergency to take money that was allocated for something and use it for the defense and the protection of the country. Can't get much more constitutional than that, Rand Paul. Where were you when Barack Obama was declaring DACA? Where were the rest of you Republicans when Barack Obama was completely and totally circumventing and to the Constitution? Oh, you might, like a big fat Pete King out of Long Island, you might go on Hannity or Fox News and bloviate for a few minutes of airtime and then pony up to the bar with all of, you know, Barack Obama's cabinet members and liberal comrades from the Senate or the Congress. What you can't believe is that a guy who actually campaigned on your issues is now delivering. And that isn't sitting well with the people who fund you. That's what's really happening here today. Mr. President, veto what they've just done. And then stick it to them. Make them pony up the full $8 billion now in the next budget. That's it. I'm Pastor Marty. It's my afternoon rant.